Hello, friends. How are you? I hope you're doing all right. I sure have missed seeing you in class. I've missed us all standing up at the board and working. I've missed your jokes. I've missed teasing and talking and listening. I've missed our hugs. I've missed our high fives. I've missed you. And last week was hard, hearing that we were not going to be able to come back together as a class this year for school. But you know what? We are resilient and we are going to be able to move forward. So today we're going to take a look at a lesson on writing the equations of lines given points. We have written the equation of a line if we know the slope and the y-intercept. We've written the equation of a line given the graph. We've written the equation of a line from a table if we know the y-intercept and find the slope. Today, we're going to look at what if we just have 2 points? What if we don't have a graph? What if we don't have a full table? What if we don't know the y-intercept? All right, that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're going to take some notes. So I'm going to do probably 2 different video examples or several examples on 2 videos for you. And then I have an assignment that I'm going to give you on Google Classroom, homework on Quizzes. All right, so you will work that on separate paper and then select your answers on Quizzes. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get rolling here. We are going to see how we can, well, it's supposed to pop up with the thing so that I can write, or maybe it's just going to let me anyway. Well, maybe so. Okay, so let's say right up here, today is Monday the 13th, and we are looking at writing the linear equation, okay? Writing equations of lines given 2 points. And that's all we're going to have is just those 2 points, okay? So remembering that 2 points gives us an x and a y. So let's say that they just give me this, right? So I'm just going to have something like this. So let's say 2, 4 and 1, -2. Oh, hello, puppy. So this is what I'm given. I don't have a graph. I don't have a table. I just have these 2 points. So what you're going to need to remember is that when they give us points, this is an x and this is a y. This is an x and this is a y. And anytime we're given points, if I'm going to write the equation of a line, remember, my equation of a line is going to be in slope-intercept. It's going to look like this. And I'm going to need to know the slope. And I'm going to need to know the y-intercept. That's what I'm going to need to know. And then y is going to stay the letter or variable y, and x is going to stay the letter or variable x. But m and b will have numbers in place of them. So those are the 2 things that I need. I need m and b. Well, let's see. If I have 2 points, can I always find the slope between those 2 points? I can. You can always find the slope between 2 points. So let's do that. And if you remember, so right over here, what are we going to do? Let's say first find the slope. First find the slope. All right. And if you remember, our slope is defined by the change in the y direction over the change in the x direction. So I have x and y and x and y, And let's think back. What we always did is that we put our points in the table. 2, so x, y, and then this is 1, negative 2, 1, negative 2. And then we would find out, how did x change? From 2 to 1, is that going down or going up? It's going down, so we're subtracting. I'm subtracting 1, right? From 2 to 1 is going down 1. From 4 to negative 2, is that going up or going down? It's going down. So how much is it going down? Well, think negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. I'm going to go from 4 to 0, and then I'm going to go from 0 to negative 2. That's down 6. So the change, again, how do we find slope? It's the change in the y direction, has to be in the numerator, divided by the change in the x direction that's in the denominator. So the change in y divided by the change in x. 6 over 1 doesn't simplify, but negative over a negative does. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So negative 6 divided by negative 1 is positive 6. That is the slope. And that, in a minute, is going to go right here, where the m is, okay? M. Right? So now we want to find B, the y-intercept. And if I can find the y-intercept, then I can write the equation of this line. And then I can put it in my calculator, either go to Desmos or put it in your calculator, those of you that asked for the calculator, and put it in y equals, and then look at the table and see, does it go through those points? That's how we test. This next step, after you find the slope, here's what you're going to do. You're going to plug in the slope and one of the points, either 2, 4 or 1, negative 2. It doesn't matter. Plug in the slope and one point, which is the xy, okay, into y equals mx plus b. So you'll plug in m, you'll take one of the points and put it in right here, and you'll have a number in for everybody except for guess who? B. You won't have anybody for B, so B will stay B, the letter, and we'll be able to solve and find out who B is. So again, let's go back to our steps. What did we do? First of all, we found the slope. The change in y over the change in x, 6. Step 2, what do? We're going to plug in the slope and one of the 2 points. So I've got 2, 4, and I have 1, negative 2. I probably am going to use 2, 4. If you have positive numbers, I would suggest use positive. If you have smaller numbers and not big numbers, I would suggest use the smaller numbers. Either one of the points is on the line, so you use the point that you think is less complicated. You use the point that you think will help you be successful, because both of the points are on the line, so they both work. Okay? All right. I'm going to use 2, 4. So this was step 1, finding the slope. Now step 2, plug in the points. So y equals mx plus b. So for y, if I'm going to use 2, 4, my y value is 4. 4 equals m, and who's the slope? 6 times x, and who's the x value in this point? 2. So let's just say who we're using. Let's use 2, 4. So 6 times 2 plus b. We don't know who b is. That's okay. We're fixing to find out. All right, so we can do this. Let's simplify. 4 equals 6 times 2 is 12 plus b. 4 equals 12 plus b. Okay, so we need to solve for b. That means we need to undo this plus 12 by subtracting. So let's subtract 12 from both sides. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. 12 minus 12 is 0. And we're going to bring down b. So b, our y-intercept, is negative 8. All right, guess what? We have the slope. We have the y-intercept. Can we now write the equation of the line? Yes, that's step 3. Write the line using the slope you found, m, and the y-intercept that you found, b. So here's step 3, right over here. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals, now who was our slope? 6. 6x. And who is our y-intercept? Negative 8. All right, y equals 6x minus 8. And if you will type that into your calculator, either on Desmos or on your calculator, on your computer, let's see, y equals 6x minus 8, and then go to table. And I'm going to see, does it go through the point 2, 4? And it does. Does it go through the point 1, negative 2? And it does. So I'm going to hold my calculator right up here. Look at there. 1, negative 2, and 2, 4. And when I get that, when I put the equation that I just found into the calculator, you can do the exact same thing on Desmos and then hit the table. So look at here. We've gotten through the first example. I will do some more examples in the next video. Hang in there. This is tricky, but you know what? You are smart, son of a guns, and you're going to be able to get this. All right. See you in a few.